Are you still using one of those to wash your dishes? Well, I say, fuck this shit. Hey there, and welcome to the Totally First Crochet channel. My name's Thomas, and from now on, you will never use those super ugly plastic dishcloths to clean your dishes, because in this tutorial, I will show you how to make those super fun and super easy to make crochet dishcloths with messages on them. One of them you can see here. I won't say it out again, otherwise YouTube will probably punish me. They work so much better than those silly plastic ones, and they are fully sustainable. You can wash them for as many times as you like to clean them up. So you don't need to buy new ones. Just make yourself a few of them and you're good to go. And this is not the only pattern that I have for you. As a little surprise, you get a few more. Dishes love. In that case, I can say it out loud. Dishes love. So you can do that. Or the third one, you got this. So you definitely got this tutorial in terms of making yourself such a fun dishcloth. And to make it a little bit easier for you to follow along, I also prepared a little spreadsheet with the 3 patterns. I just easily made them on my phone with the pen and used a blank grid to define where each letter is and what stitches I might need for it. There's also a little written instruction in the lower right. You will find the PDF in the description below. So make sure to download it, keep it on your phone or print it out so you always know in which round you are. Of course, all the numbers are made from left to right because I'm left-handed. Of course. So when you're right-handed, just start from the right and go to the left. Everything else will then be the same. But as I mentioned before, you definitely got this. So for this tutorial, we are going to make the viral one, the one that I have been seeing everywhere in the past few weeks. And I will make it in this vibrant red color because it quite matches to the message. And it's a cotton 8/6 yarn, so it's a little bit thinner than the cotton that I usually use. It says we would need a crochet hook 3.5 to 4 millimeters, and I'm actually going to use a 3.5 millimeters. Just to keep it a bit smaller, the end size of the dishcloth is around 9 inches or 23 centimeters. So when you use a thinner yarn, the dishcloth will get smaller, of course. And what's important is that you can use basically any color, any size of yarn or thickness of yarn that you want. Just make sure that then also the size of the dishcloth might change. Just make sure to definitely use a cotton because cotton is definitely the easiest when it comes to washing it later on. So no bacteria and stuff has a chance. You can wash it in the washing machine with your towels, etc. And this will definitely be the best with a cotton yarn. For the end of this tutorial, you need some yarn needle and scissors to finish everything off. And we're good to go. So we take the pattern right here, and as you can see, there are always blank squares and there are the ones with the red crosses in there. When it's a blank square, it's then basically for a set of 3 double crochets. The first and the last one is always the first or last one of the next square. So here we have 19, and we are going to start with a round of 39 stitches. You can make a regular chain and then work in the back loops or behind loops, whatever is easier for you. Or in my case, I make a foundation round, or as some would call it, an I-cord, basically. The reason is quite simple. In the end, you get like beautiful stitches to start the next round, and on both sides, and you will also get a super clean border to work with, and it's less fiddly than working with a chain. And this I-cord version of how to start a crochet project with a straight border goes as follows. You make a slip stitch, then you take the end yarn, pull it over the hook from the front, then take the yarn that goes to your yarn ball, yarn it over from the back, hold it with your fingers right here, and take that last loop through the 2 loops on your hook. And we do this 39 times until we have a chain of 39. Here we go, 39 stitches, or an I-cord of 39, however you want to call it. And here you can also see how beautiful those stitches are, and that you can easily work in them. So you can leave the end yarn where it is. We are going to incorporate it later on the go. And we are ready to start our first round. And the first round is quite easy because we have one blank round, which means that we do 39 double crochets right until the end. So whenever I start a new round with double crochets, you can of course chain free, which I absolutely won't do because I don't like it. I will start each round with a fake double crochet, or as some also know it as a stacked single crochet. And it goes as follows. You go into the first stitch. You don't chain anything. You just go back in there in the first stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, and first make a single crochet. And after that, you go back into that front bar, grab the yarn, pull it through, pull everything up, yarn over, and pull through, and you have your fake double crochet. And from there, it's quite easy because we do 38 double crochets. So when you're new to crochet, you yarn over, you go in the next stitch right here, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And here you go, your first double crochet. And this is how we continue until we made 39 stitches to finish the round. Here we go. 39. The first round is complete. And now what we are going to do is we are going to turn our work. And then we are going to check with the pattern because we are now in round 2 officially. And we are working it from the front before then turning again. And then every third round, or the third, the fifth, the seventh, are then worked from the back. So you definitely want to make sure that you reverse in your head and go from the back to the front. Or maybe that works too. You turn the page and see where you are. But you definitely get this. And we start the next round like we started the round before with a fake double crochet. Like this. And then we have one blank square. So we need 3 stitches. That first fake double crochet already counts as our first stitch. So we need 2 more double crochets. This last double crochet is already the first set of stitches for the next square, which is with a red cross. So what we do whenever we have a red cross, we replace the middle double crochet by a chain 1, and then we are also going to skip the next stitch. So we chain 1, skip the next stitch, and go one after that with another double crochet. And this is how you create those holes that later on will result in the different messages. And we need 3 of those. So we chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and go into the next with a double crochet. And we chain 1 again, skip 1, and go in the next stitch. So here we have the 3 holes, which are the 3 red crosses from the S. Then we continue with 2 sets of blank squares. We already have the first one here. So whenever we have 3, this is 1 set. And since the last double crochet is already the first from the next square, we only need 2 more. So 5 in total to create this space here. Then we have another red one. So we chain 1 and skip 1. And then we have again 2. What I always remember is when I have a space of 2 blank ones, that in the end it represents 5 double crochets. So 1 is already there. So I just need 4 more. Here we go. Now I have the 5. Then our next space, chain 1 and double crochet in the stitch with skipping 1. Then we have 1 full. So we just need 2 more double crochets. Like this. Then we have the eye. So we just chain 1 and make that. And then we have 3 sets before moving on to the T, and then there's 3 to finish. So for the 3, that results in 7 double crochets. So here we have the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have the T. So we chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and the rest of this round are all double crochets. And here we go. our first round, you can always compare with the pattern where you are, if you're correct. And if you do feel that you are, you just turn your work for the next round. Again, no chaining. Place this here so you can see it better. No chaining. And we go back into that first stitch and make our fake double crochet in there to start. And since everything from the left and the right is the same, we always start with 3 double crochets to have one square or one cluster that we need. And then we go basically backwards. So here the T is very simple, the I as well. So we just place the same hole over the ones that we had before. So we can move on until we reach that hole from the previous round. And when we are there, we just make the exact same thing. We chain 1 and double crochet after skipping 1, and like that we continue. So it's super easy, super basic. You just need to take a look at the pattern a few times in between so you know where you are. And always think about that one side is reverse. Here comes the I. Here's the next chain. So we chain 1 and skip 1 and work our next hole in there. For the H is also very simple. So we can continue just replicating everything backwards what we had before. Here's our next space. So we chain 1 and then skip 1 and make the next double crochet. Then we have 5 double crochets. And here's our next hole right here. Chain 1, same thing, the entire project. And now for the S, it starts 1 square earlier. So again, we have here just 1 space. So you know you have to make just, or you know you just have to have 3 double crochets. Like this, and after that we chain 1 and then we go in this next double crochet here to get ourselves to the left. And whenever then, because everything else is going to be like double crochets only, and whenever we reach a hole of the previous round that now gets full, we just go in that hole and make our double crochet in there, and then go in the top of the previous one, then go in the hole, make the double crochet in there, in the top of the double crochet, in the hole, and then there's 3 double crochets left. And this was round 3. You turn your work and then we go forward with the next round, but I leave you to it. I will meet you in the end once you have everything to then show you how to make the handle, and then we make one final border around it just to keep the shape. And have fun. Remember, you got this. See you. I made it through the wilderness. Somehow I made it through. Welcome back. I made it to round 19. It went super fast, and now you can read it if the light would be better. It's dark over here. And we are now ready to finish it off. The instructions we don't need anymore. And now we make a final round with single crochet, so it matches our beginning with that I-cord start that I made. And this is very simple. We just go in each of the stitches and make one single crochet without turning, without chaining in between, just one single crochet in every stitch right until we reach the end. Here we go. One final round of single crochet. And now we can start directly with the loop for the hanger. And for that, we are going to chain 12. 1, 12 stitches. And now we are going into the same stitch where we placed the last single crochet and make another single crochet to close our little hanger here. And now, because the borders on the side are quite straight, they're a little bit wavy, but I do love it when it's like a straight line. So what I'm going to do next is to just continue with the single crochets all along until I basically reach our hanger again. And I do this with single crochets. So I'm going to go in there all along and make single crochets. And sometimes it's a bit hard to find the stitches, but trust me, you will find a way. I usually go like in these loops here that are from the fake double crochet. Then I'm going somewhere in between the double crochets. Then I'm taking one loop from this double crochet right here, and then there's also like a very nice place to put the single crochet in, again right in between the double crochets. And this is basically how I go along. But feel free, if you have a better option or easier option to do it. There are always multiple ways to go. And if in the end you made one or two too many, that's still all right. And once you reach the corner, you go into that last stitch, and in the corner we make 2 single crochets in the same corner stitch, like this. Here now is also our end yarn from the I-cord round, and here you can also see the beautiful stitches that are now still left to work in. And we can also incorporate the end yarn by placing it over our work. And like this, we continue until we reach the hanger. So here we go. I made it all around. And now the only thing left is finishing the hanger. And what we do is that we make 16 single crochets all into that hanger ring. And then we can cut the yarn off, sew the yarn end in, and we are good to go to clean the dishes, basically. So we start with the 16 single crochets all around that hanger. And the last one is right here. Then we chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the yarn through, grab the yarn needle, and we are just going to insert it somewhere here, and we just go through some of the stitches to hide it. It doesn't have to be super accurate. And once we have it, cut the yarn and give it a good stretch. And fuck this shit. Your dishwash cloth is done. If at some point you feel like the holes could be a bit bigger, take a pen and just open them up a little bit. But most of the time it doesn't have to. I mean, you can still read it. But that is optional. So thank you so much for joining me and making those super fun crochet dishcloths with messages. And I hope it wasn't that hard to do. Remember, dish is love. Dish is love. Now you can see it better. And if you haven't started making your own crochet dishcloths with messages, just remember, you got this. So I hope to see you again next time, only at the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. Bye!